Namaste, beautiful yogis, and this is a highly requested class, interval yoga for runners. We'll build up some heat. It's not just going to be stretching, but we'll be building some heat and also stretching. It is a supportive practice for people that are preparing for a marathon or runners, or even cyclists or anybody that is doing repetitive cardio. Even if you're a gym rat and you're spending long hours or long minutes on the treadmill, on the stairmaster, on the elliptical, etc. So let's begin at the front of our mat. Roll the shoulders up, back, drop them down, hands over the heart. Extend the tailbone slightly down and begin to become aware of your midsection and of your core, which is actually the place where you should be aware of when you're running as well, because that's where your power holds or stays. Begin to deepen your breath in and out through the nose, and as you inhale, feel the abdominal wall strengthening. As you exhale, feel your feet sinking deeper into the floor. Inhale, lifting through the crown of the head, lifting Mula Bandha, which is your root lock chakra. Engaging Mula Bandha, engaging the midsection, connecting with the midsection, exhaling, grounding, rooting. One more time, inhale and exhale. Excellent. Inhale your hands over the head. Drop your feet or allow your feet to drop into the floor and reach up and slightly back. Here I want you to bring a little bit of a back extension with a little bit of a tailbone tuck under without overdoing anything. Great. Staying easy. Exhale, folding forward. Now if you're very inflexible, you can bend your knees and drop here. If you're very familiar with my classes, you're probably at this point bending forward with ease. Either way, you can keep a micro bend in your knees. Hands on the ground, spread your fingers wide open. Refer to my video about wrist and hand alignment. Step back, plank. Press your heels away from you. Why is plank so important for runners? Because it re-establishes that connection with your core. You don't want to be running floppy all over the place. You want to have this strong connection with your core, which not every other yoga for runners video would address. So be aware of that. Great. Now you can lower down onto your belly if you're an interval yoga practitioner or a power yoga practitioner. Lower down chaturanga. If you're not, I recommend you join my classes. Inhale, open the chest in upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga, which strengthens your core, and back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, open the right hip on top of the left, flex your foot and lift your knee as high as you can, keeping the shoulders square. Here we're stretching the hip, stretching the opposite inner thigh and hamstring, trying to keep the left heel down or directing it down. Excellent. Look between your hands and come into one-legged plank. Knee between the elbows and back. Knee between the elbows, squeeze, back. Knee between the elbows, round your back and step your foot between your hands. Drop, keep the back heel pressing away from you and come up. High lunge, one of the most important poses I would say for any runner. Key thing here to know is that your right knee is over the right ankle and the tailbone is extending down. Sorry if I'm repetitive for some of you that are familiar with the alignment, but I find this is going to be very important for anybody new to my style that is just coming across this video because they run. Excellent. Exhale the left hand on the floor. Bring the right arm up. Keep your right knee in. Here normally people open the knee. Keep it in. And just bring that twist from the midsection. Press the back heel straight up. Reach over your head. Both hands on the inside of the right foot. Drop the back knee down. Walk it all the way far back. Tuck your tailbone slightly under. And starting with a mouse stretch in the hip flexor. Deepen it. Step back. Great. Plank. Strong heels. Press into your heels. Pull the belly in. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Stretching the belly. Chaturanga. Downward dog. Take the left leg up. Open the left hip on top of the right and really lift through your knee. Keep the right heel down. Lift and feel that openness. Square your shoulders. Great. Come into one-legged plank, knee tuck. Plank, knee tuck. Plank, knee tuck. Round your back. Step your foot through. Press the back heel away from you. High lunge. Extending the tailbone down. Feel that stretch here. Exhale, right hand on the floor. Twist. Press your left hip back. Don't collapse on your shoulder. Reaching. Exhale, both hands on the inside of your foot. Walk your back foot away from you towards the back of the mat and lower down here. You want to start stretching all the muscles in the upper thighs, around the hips. Here, this is stretching everything, the adductors, hamstrings, hips, hip flexors. Getting into the psoas a little bit. And step it back, plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward dog. Back to chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Pressing the tailbone as high as you can. Inhale the right leg up and let's open the right hip on top of the left. Lift as high as you can. Come into one-legged plank. Right knee to right elbow. Back. Right knee to right elbow. Back. Right knee to right elbow. Squeeze your knee into your chest. Round your back. Step it through. Come up. High lunge again. This time clasping the hands and reaching over to the right. Extending the tailbone down. Deepening that stretch. And reaching into the psoas muscle as well. Excellent. Coming back to center, hands over the heart. Left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Press the back heel straight up and twist here. Inhale, coming out of this back to center. Open your arms out and now twist your torso to your right. Drop the right hand down the left leg. Reach up here and look up. Back to center. Exhale, both hands on the inside of the right foot. Drop the back knee away from you. Down on the floor and walking it away from you. And deepen this stretch. Each time you can deepen this a tiny bit. Great. Plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog, and really enjoy it. Linger in here. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Open the left hip on top of the right. Lift. One-legged plank, left knee to left elbow, back. Left knee to left elbow, squeeze, back. One more. And now bring the knee into the chest, round your back, step it through. High lunge, extending the tailbone down. Clasping your hands this time, press the back heel away from you, feel your core, reach over to your left. Really lengthening, consciously moving through the moves, not just performing moves, but really feeling them. Back to center, hands over the heart, press the back heel away from you for balance and twist. Right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Exhale, softening the belly. Coming back up, open your arms out, twist your torso over to your left, drop the left hand down the right leg, reach with your right hand up and look up. And coming out of this, exhale your hands on the ground, walk the back foot away from you, knee on the ground, deepening here. Exhaling through the nose and try to lengthen the time of exhalation. We're also working on breathing techniques while we are stretching, so that will greatly help your running. And lifting, stepping back plank. Spread the fingers wide open. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Chaturanga, which is a yoga push-up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and step the right foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Come up, warrior one. Now your right hip is pressing back. Left hip is rotating internally, pressing forward, trying to square the hips forward. Pressing the outer edge of your left foot down into the ground. Keeping the left heel down. Belly. Conscious connection with your midsection, with your core. Hands over the heart, open into warrior two. Now you can walk your left foot a little further away from you. Take a little wider stance here. Dip a little deeper here. Sink a little deeper. Let's walk the left hand down the left leg. Right arm reaches up. Reverse warrior, coming out, back to warrior two, right hand, right elbow above the right knee, side angle. You can deepen here by bringing the right hand by the right foot. Exhale, both hands on the floor, lift the back heel up, lower down, walk your knee further away, stretching the hip flexor. Coming back up, step it back, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Chaturanga, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Step the left foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Warrior one. Bringing that right hip in. Drop the back heel down. Keep it down. Hands over the heart, open in warrior two. Sink a little deeper. Walk your right foot away from you. Externally rotating the right hip now. Turn the left hand up and reverse the warrior. Walk your right hand down. The right leg in really lengthen here. Coming back up, warrior 2. And side angle, left elbow above the left knee. You can deepen it. Hands on the floor. Reaching. Both hands on the floor. Walk the back foot away from you. Lower down. I'm deepening according to my body's needs. Of course, this looks different for everybody. A lot of runners have very tight hip flexors, so you still may be here. That's okay. Move with consciousness, awareness of where your body is at. Stepping back, plank. Strong chaturanga. Stretchy upward facing dog. Chaturanga. And downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Step the right foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down, warrior 1. Hands over the heart, warrior 2. Sink a little deeper. Straightening the lead knee. Walk the left hand down the left leg and reach here. Great. Arms parallel to the floor. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Reach way ahead of you. Lower down, triangle pose. Reaching over the head here. Let's bring both hands on the floor. On the inside of the right foot, drop the back knee down. Stay mild in this stretch. I want you to feel the stretch so mildly that you're almost on the verge of not sure if you're stretching it enough, but I don't want you to overstretch your hip flexor. Better be safe and move slow through this stretch. Great. Coming back up, step it back. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Step the left foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Warrior 1. Hands over the heart. Take a little wider stance. Warrior 2. Straightening the lead knee here. You are going to walk your right hand down the right leg and stretch. Lifting to the left hand. Arms parallel to the floor, hinging at the hips, tuck the tailbone under, connect with your core, reaching lower down. Here you are going to feel the tuck in the tailbone, micro bend in the knees, and especially for the very flexible girls. And holding foot alignment, pressing inner outer edges of the feet are working. Reach way ahead of you here. Lengthen. Bring both hands on the floor. Dropping the back knee down. Breathe into your hip area. Great. And from here, step it back, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Release. the chest. Breathe into your upper back. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. And let's keep going. We're generating heat and stretching everything out. Right leg comes up. Step the right foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Warrior one again. Facing forward. Hips facing forward. From here, you're going to straighten your lead knee. Make sure your hips are squaring forward. Right hand on the right hip. Reach way ahead of you. And lower down. Now for many of you, you just lower down onto your shin bone and take the right arm up, revolving triangle pose, or deepen it. Great. Bring both hands on the floor. Square your hips. And you can hold here. You can have your knee bent, right knee. You can lower down if you're a little more flexible, or work your way to that. Excellent. Coming a little bit higher here. Bring both hands onto your right side, and walk them here just for a little bit of an additional stretch. You feel it in your hip. Great. Step it back. Move through your vinyasa. Open the chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Bring this into the upper back. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Take the left leg up. Step the left foot between the hands, warrior one. Try to square your hips here. And go a little deeper. Very good. Straightening the legs here. Square the hips. Steady your feet. Press into the outer inner edges of the feet. Reach way ahead of you. And lower down wherever that is for you. Right hand on the shin bone or on the floor. Keep the right heel down on the floor. Hands are reaching away from each other. Excellent. And from here, square your hips and lower down. Let's bring the hands on the outside of the foot and walk them here just for additional stretch. You feel it along your left leg mostly and oblique. Great. Walk your hands now between your legs to bring your feet parallel to each other. Look ahead of you, straight back. Exhale, forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Holding here. Press into the outer and inner edges of your feet. Hands on the hips. Come up. Now, next thing we'll do is plie. Open the feet out and sit into plie. Knees are pressing back and you're stretching again a lot of your running muscles. Sit a little deeper in your plie. Right elbow over the right thigh. Keep your left knee bent. Reach over. Change sides. And again, reach over. Change sides. And again, reach over. And change sides. coming back up, hands over the thighs. Look over your left shoulder, over the right. Now you're twisting your back and maybe even doing a little bit of an adjustment. Excellent. And from here, frog stretch. So you're going to double pat your mat where your knees are gonna go and lower the inner sides of your knees on the floor, calves. So pay attention to this. Calves are parallel to each other and hip and feet are flexing. Important. Keep your calves not coming in, feet not coming in, but parallel to each other. Breathe here. Try to keep your knees at 90 degrees. Excellent. From here, bring your feet closer to each other and knees slightly closer to each other. Lower down child's pose or modified child's pose. Great. Coming back up. Now, this next pose, if your knees are all right, do it. If not, you will do pigeon on your back. You basically lay on your back and bring your, I'll demonstrate it now and then we'll go into pigeon with the rest of the group. If you have knee pain, this is how your pose will look. One ankle over the knee, flexing, pressing the knee away from you, bringing the bent knee towards you. For the rest of the group that has no knee pain, you're going to bend your knee, bring your shin bone on the floor, bring both hips, square them equal distance from the floor, open the chest, lift the rib cage away from your hips, lower down and hold here. Make sure that you feel this stretch in your hips. You're not rolling over to one side. This is not going to help you. So keep your hips equal distance from the floor and work your way over time, not today. If this is the first time you're doing this class, keep coming back to it, and over time you will feel that your shin bone is coming further away from you as your hip opens. Take your time, do a few of my beginner classes, a few of my other classes, familiarize yourself with interval yoga and with, I generally do pigeon in almost every class. 90% of my classes will have pigeon pose, which is this one. So try to learn how to perform it properly. I have tutorial. In my tutorials on pigeon, you can check out my tutorials for proper alignment because that is key. And keep coming back to this class, deepening the poses and deepening your awareness. Do the class after running. It will improve your practice. It will improve your running. It will prepare you in a healthy way for a marathon. Excellent. Coming up, hands on the floor, tuck your toes under, go back into one-legged down dog and draw circles with your right knee in the air. Great. And from here we'll just take the left Shin bone forward and flex the foot. Level your hips equal distance from the floor. Lift your rib cage away from your hips with this elongated spine. You can lower down, hips still square, and holding here. Breathe into your hip, allowing the hip to release. Inhale, coming back up. Open chest, and from here, press back into one-legged down dog. Draw circles with your knee and step it back down. Let's drop the knees on the ground. Sit back between your heels and begin to lower down onto your elbows. Knees are hip width apart. And tuck your tailbone under. If you are flexible, you can lower all the way down or stay seated. Listen to your body. Here you can be completely seated, just sitting between your heels. You can even sit on a block if your quads are very, very tight, otherwise laying back down. For most people that are following my classes, they're probably gonna be able to lay down. If you're not, follow them, and within 6 months you'll be laying down. From here, elbows back down, coming back up into your seated. Great. So from here, sit down, extend your legs in front of you, reach over your head, exhale, forward fold, basic forward fold. We all know it. Flex your feet. Inhale, coming up, and come into a seated, simple seated pose. I want to keep this around 30 minutes long, so that is very doable on most days. So we'll finish the practice with a little bit of intention or a visualization meditation, where you will close your eyes, turn the palms of your hands up, open them, have them over your knees, roll the shoulders back and down, lift through the crown of your head. And as you close your eyes, visualize yourself running in a very fluid, easy way. Just see your technique improving, see yourself running with strength, grace, beauty, and power. And of course, speed, alignment. And just visualize yourself for 30 seconds or so, running in the best, with the best technique you can visualize. Envisioning the results you want to achieve, maybe being first at the marathon or getting the time you need to get, maybe envisioning the timer with the number you want to see without attaching yourself to the outcome, but just having a beautiful visualization to finish off. And stay here for as long as your mind needs to. Thanks for joining me today. Namaste.